our live in just a few moments. I noticed, well, we already did start it, obviously, but I noticed that we only have one viewer on right now, so we'll wait a bit, see if anybody else comes on before we turn down. Um, we're going to use our peach sorbet kit from Bargain Bead Box today. I also have companion bundle 2 and 3 here, as I know what I want to do as far as the pendant part is concerned, but I'm not sure about the stringing yet. So we'll wait just a little bit, see if anybody comes on. If nobody comes on in a minute or so, we'll just turn down and get started. So, oh, there's another person. Great. Little sniffly today. I think it's allergies. I have them. It's funny because I didn't get allergies. Hi, Kimberly. Until I was probably in my 40s, I think. And then all of a sudden, they kicked in good, along with one of our uh, wildfires, because my first allergy was to smoke, and then it went from there. Got lots of different ones since then. But hey, Beth. Hey, Kimberly. So we have a few people on now. Oh, it's morning for me because I'm in Mountain Standard Time. So it's 10 o'clock my time. Yeah, always fun, isn't it? Hi, Jenny. Yeah, allergies, sniffles. That's the main thing with me is sniffles and watery eyes, but um, sometimes tired. But generally, it's just mainly sniffles. But no fun. But I I used to take allergy pills because, it helps when you have allergies, but then I have to I have what they call dry eye syndrome. Yeah, watery eyes, but it's dry eye syndrome. Right. But so they told me that that makes the allergies worse when the dry eye syndrome worse when you take allergy pills. So I'm like, really? But, that's the way it goes. But anyway, it's a few minutes after. We have a few people on. So I'm going to turn down. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do, at least for this pendant. And like I say, I haven't really decided what beads to use to string it on. Though I do know that I plan on stringing it up with some beads. But we'll turn down here since we have a few people on and it's 3 minutes after the hour. So I did Brandy Brown's trick of putting a tack on my mat so it doesn't wiggle around. So hopefully that'll help us stay in where I want to be. It seems to have been a little bit with my last few recorded videos, so that's good. So here we go. We're turning. Come on, turn. There we go. So I have the peach sorbet here. I have some square 18 gauge craft wire, and my 2 companion bundles are here, and I have some white quartz Softflex medium beading wire. I decided to go with white because, well, I'm not sure what colors for sure we're using, and white is a really nice neutral color, so that's what we'll use when we start stringing. But what I got out, let's put this aside for right now. Can go up here with these other things. Is I got that little marquee drop out with the moonstone, and I got these. This is not one of the ones that came in the package, obviously, because it's much bigger, but it's sort of like a bell. So it's just gonna hang from here. And then I'm going to take my square wire and I'm going to make a loop around this like so. And then we'll start beading from either side. Oh, hi, Gloria. Well, for sure, Beth. We would miss you if you're not here. We missed you last week. So anyway, to make this, of course, we want to hook our little, they call this a bell bead, and our little pendant together. I have some way super tiny. Not sure, these might be too tiny. And weirdly enough, they're all open. Sort of bizarred me out when I got them, that they were all open already and not closed. But we'll see if this one is too small to go on here. And if it is, I think I have two of the other Tinky Tots that are slightly larger. This is probably the 3 since it is so very tiny. I'm not sure, it might be too tiny. Maybe not. We'll see. Though it's sort of hard to get rid of hold of this little guy because of the other stuff around him. So we can close him up. Well, let's see if we can just do this the naughty way and just pull one side and use the pressure of our bell to hold the other side. Oops, open too much. Are you? So this is still too open. It's got a gap. So we got to see if I can get it closed. If I can't, like I said, I'm going to switch to one of my 2 remaining. I don't think I'm going to get it closed. So I'm going to just open it and take it off. And I have 2 remaining Tinky Tots, so we can just, I think I still do anyway. Yep, I do. So we'll put one of these on here. This, I think, is the 4s. I think that one was a 3, which is obviously too small. I ordered more from Randy when they went on her site, so hopefully we'll get them soon. Though it probably won't be till either the end of this week or next week because what day was it? I ordered them Friday and she's been gone, so they will probably get mailed out today. Oh, come on now. The other one went on simpler than this. There we go. And now you slid back off, turd. I think I have it open enough. Okay, let's open you just a wee bit more. It's funny that it went on that really, really tiny one, and this one, it's fighting me more on going on. Now if I can get hold of this. There we go. Suppose I could use a 6, but this is going to work. There we go. So there she's on her bail. The next thing we're going to do is work on the pendant piece with the square wire. Oh, you have one of the companion bundles? I didn't manage to grab one. It was when I was traveling down to the Bitterroot for my Celtic festival that they started coming up, and I managed to grab these 2, but I didn't manage to grab the first one, which was pretty disappointing. But that's the way it goes. So now what I'm going to do with my square wire here, this is Soft Flex 18 gauge square wire, is I'm going to take this, straighten it up so I can get a good measurement here. First thing I'm going to do is cut this notch off the end so we got it flush. Now, what I need to do is, of course, we're going to wrap it around to make so it will hold on to the wire, but I want to make that teardrop. So we need to come down and around, and I'm thinking probably about double this. If we have to trim some off, that's always fine, but I don't want to have too little, so we want at least 5 inches, it looks like. So 5 is right here. Where did I just drop my... These are not the right ones, but they'll work. So I'll put these back in its package, put it aside so it's not in my way. So what we need to do then is find our middle, which it is 2.5, of course. So right here. And I'm going to take my flat nose pliers and put them right here. Make sure that which side is the 2.5, this side. A little bit more this way. And then bend this side up. This makes a V so that, and this side is not as sharp as that side where we folded it. So we want to, there we go. So this is our V. And then we're going to just sort of loop it around this way. So we're going to have to get our wire mandrel. And we want to put her here, probably in the bottom one, and just bring her up and around like so. And I can see that one side is still a little bit longer than the other side. See here? So I will probably need to trim that off. But let's see how we're doing here. Could have gone down a little bit lower, but it's all right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take I have paper towels beside me because I was painting over the weekend. And I like to have a paper towel when I'm painting. Cut that down so it's normal. Well, normal is comparative things, as we all know. Then I'm going to make some loops. And I'm going to turn them to the back. I want my loops to go sideways, just like the bail would, with it sitting, so this snugs to the bail. And we'll turn this over this way till it touches. Do the same with this side. And now you could leave it and let it hang like this, but I'm not going to. What I'm going to do, because I want it to be closer to around the marquee, and this actually could be a little bit smaller. I may trim those and bring it down some more. In fact, I know I will. So to do that, just go into your loop and decide about how much you want off. And then cut it both the same so that you stay of a comparable size. I'll get our back out and we do those little loops. This one's bigger and I don't know why. I need to slim up there. Come on. Up. There we go. That's better. Now let's see when we push it in how close it is. That's better. I like that better. So now I'm going to take my pliers. You'll notice that this one is pushed out just a hair's breadth. We're going to push it back into place. But then that was the flat nose pliers, of course. But we're going to take our regular pliers and we're going to break the neck of this just like you would a simple loop so that it's going up and down. In this manner, our loops then will be closer in and they won't be popped up here somewhat. Now these need to come over because they're not that close. And then they also need to bend so they go up and down. So they'll sort of snug up to the bail, like so, when we bring it in. So that's going to sit like so. Now, if you wanted to, I'm going to round this a little bit more. And I'm just doing it with my fingers right now, but I may get the pliers out. I mean, the bail mandrel out in a minute, because I wanted it to snug out a little bit away from the marquee. So there's our pendant. Now I could flatten this if I wanted to, and in fact I may just do that. So because I like the flat wire, a square wire when it's flattened looks really cool. So just like so. Hey, Anita. So, like so. Now I'm going to get my steel block out and I'm going to pound the bottom at least a little bit so that it flattens it somewhat. Come on, block. My steel block's over here, and all of my flush cutters are snugged up to it so that it didn't want to come out of its little hollow spot. Okay. Come on, hammer. Here's my chasing hammer. I'm just gonna, mainly I want the little curve here flattened. So I'm gonna, and this will make it lose a little bit of its shape, so we'll have to fix that. Sorry about the noise. See how it's popping up on this one side? We'll give it a little texture. And I think we're done with this baby. So now we need to get this back into shape some, but it didn't really go out a lot, just a little bit. So this will go right there. Now that side's higher than this side. I can see that it is as far as our loop is concerned. So let's see if we can get that a little bit more rounded out here. Okay. And of course I'm going to have to push it down so that I have my loop there good too. Where my loops come together. Okay. That looks better. So then, of course, this needs to pull out just a little bit because it's going to go around here. Now it wants to pop out. A little bit wider, just a little bit. There we go. There we go. I like that. Gloria, there have been a few bags that I've entirely finished off, but maybe one or two beads, and lately I'm lucky if I do any of it. So definitely don't finish them. So anyway, here's our pendant part. And now we have to decide on our beads. And that's one thing I really didn't decide on. I designed this piece, actually, this portion of it, before I even started on my FOC things. But it's taken me a while to get to it. So I have to decide what beads need to go with it. And I do believe we have some moonstone in here, don't we? Yeah, though they're bigger. So they're going to go up. I'm not sure. Probably going to use some of these. Maybe. Oh yeah, there's the little garnets too. I do like them. Now, the thing with these moonstone is that they're pretty large, and I don't want to overpower this moonstone when we start beading. So, I'm not sure what I'm going to do here. There you go. There you go, Gloria. Yeah, like I said, I designed this pendant piece some time ago, and I think from my drawing, I had some of these right here. Like I said, I don't want anything. I like these, of course, and they match, but they're pretty big. Oops, what'd I drop? Oh, the little crystals. Don't want to be dropping our little crystals. So if we were to use these, where'd I put my clippers now? There they are. Which we, of course, could do, but see the difference in size? I'm not sure I want anything really huge, really close to here, and maybe possibly overshadowing our little moonstone here. And that's why I was thinking the rhodonite, that I'm not even sure that that's what I want. Like maybe this pink, more pink one. Though, like I say, I do have my companion bundles here, and they have some smaller beads. By the way, for those who watched, I did get hold of August Bargain, sent them a picture showing that this one's missing its crystals on my earring piece here, and they are going to send me new ones, so I was pretty pleased. I think I want the ball spacers out of one of these. And this is that little strawberry pendant. That was so cute. I have to use that in something. Let's see what we got here. Oh, this is moonstone too, I think. This would be better. It's smaller. I like the smaller size for this piece. And maybe some of these crystals. Oh, hi, Cindy. You were right, Kimberly. There they are. The smaller moonstone. Pretty sure that's moonstone. It just says gems, but I'm pretty sure it's moonstone. So that'll work better. there anything else I want out of these? I don't think so, even though some of these things are really cool. We'll use them at a different time. So we're going to see what we can do with this. I'm going to start from the middle. I do that a lot when I'm beading. That way I can argue up my first half, so to speak, and decide if I like it and before I bother with the second half. So get some of my beading wire out here, and I always put a bead stopper down here on this end, even though the beads aren't going to run around off from that side, because I don't like it when I'm beading if it sinks down into the spool so you can't really see what's on that end. It sort of drives me nuts. So I've got the we got those, and I'm debating if I want to also add some daisy spacers in here as well. Especially if we use any bigger beads, the daisy spacers will add a little contrasty stuff there. I've got some bigger daisy spacers. So if I don't want to use bigger beads, why would I use bigger daisy spacers? I also have a ton of other sizes. I just have to roll back and get them. So what we're going to do here is we'll start with this. I am going to start with this rhodonite. And then before I put this in here, pop this back out of here. Because it's got a pretty big hole, but I wanted a bigger one, not that tiny, tiny one that's in there. I'm either going to put some seed beads into here or some rubber tubing so that it doesn't slide around as easily. It will slide around some, unless you use really big seed beads, which you could do. Where are my seed beads? Just a moment. These are cream colored seed beads from Hobby Lobby. They're number 6s, so they're a lot bigger. And I probably only need like 2 or 3 to fill that hollow up. So what I'm going to do is put this side on. Put 2 of the seed beads on. I think that's probably all we really need. Yeah, I'm sure it is. Then we'll put the pendant over the top and see, yep, it is all we need. Then we want to carefully slide through the other side of our piece here. And we want to be careful not to kink our wire as we go around. No kinking. Come on. In you go. Go in the bail. See, as you can see, it's trying to do a little twisty here. Pull it through now. Come on. There we go. So as you can see, that's now the seed beads are now sitting inside here on both sides, keeping the bail from moving around too much. So there's our pendant in place. We already got this rhodochrosite on, or rhodonite, I should say. And then we'll put this one on. Come on. And it looks like our bail is sitting a little bit crooked in there. There we go. That's better, I think. Now we have to decide how we want to bead. So what we're doing is, like I said, the seed beads work in here. Rubber tubing works great. And then we can, of course, go on from here. I'm going to put some of our ball spacers out. We'll start with one of those. Now, when you're doing things with limited numbers of beads, you got to remember to keep enough out to do your second side when you're doing only one side like I am here. And I'm really not worried about it because I'm like with the lariat that I made the other day, I was worried about it because I used a lot of beads in that baby. I'm going to get some daisy spacers. I love a spacer, but I don't always want to use the same one because sometimes, you know, what I want to do here is put a couple of them here. And they'll slide down here. And then I'm going to use a, do I want a crystal or a garnet? Maybe both. Do you ever debate with yourself what you want to put up on next when you're making something like this? I'm just going to put one, and then we'll put a garnet. Gotta watch it. I've got two different kinds of sizes of daisy spacers in here, and one of these was big and one was small. And when I'm going around this teeny garnet, I want the small ones. These garnets are a bit of a bugger because they have these tiny little things and they got little holes, and then you gotta find the little hole, and it's easier said than done. Oop, come back here. Moonstone. now we're far enough away from the pendant, I might start using some of the bigger beads a little bit too. Yeah, that happens to me a lot, Beth. That's why some of them, that's why some of my boxes are still sitting here, just barely used. One thing talked to me, the rest of them haven't talked to me. So it's like, ugh, come on. I need to work on that a little bit sometimes. So what I'm going to do here is, now this is this section right here, and I think that's very pretty, but I want to switch it up a little bit here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put another ball spacer on here, but then I'm going to put a couple of my daisy spacers beside it. Come on, there we go. See there, and then I'm going to go to some of the bigger moonstone. Come on down here. I knew there was some loose ones that were just floating around the bottom here. Come on, get out of my way. See, I like that. Yeah, I like that a lot. So let's get most of the strand back in the bag. There, we've got some out though. Now the only ones we don't have out that I've got out here are either the shell or also these more pinkish ones. I think we'll put these back in the companion bundle. I've got the other crystals out. I don't need both of them. Come on, little moonstones, get up here and get out of the way. Oh, you knocked out you too. Guess that pendant wants to be next. So then we will put in one of these maybe. Now we need to decide what I want to use for spacer here first. Maybe I do want those big gold spacers. Where are they? Where did I put them? Oh, for crimey's sake, you just had them in your hand. What did you do with them? Well, maybe I won't do what I was thinking of doing, because they have ran away. Guess they were upset that I decided not to use them because they don't want to be here. So we'll use a rope spacer instead. All kinds of spacers. Hey, Deborah. So what I'm going to do is we're going to put this guy. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Come back here. And you again. The moonstone. Then we'll go. I don't have any of the shell in here. Do I want to put some shell in here? I think we're going to skip the shell this time around. I think I'm just going to stick with these two patterns. Just do this pattern again next, and then we'll go back to this one and so on until I get the length I want. Oh, thank you. I always think it adds a little something to give it a frame, so to speak. So we're gonna go back to this pattern here. I really think these tiny beads add something to it, especially when they're so contrasty to the other colors. But at the same time, they are so hard to find their hole because they are so tiny. And it's a bit of a chore sometimes. Boy, this rhodonite's really brown. I may not use it. So now we are back. We just did this pattern again to here. So now we're right here, back up to going up the pattern to get some more. I got it from Softlex. They sell them at the softlex.com sells their wires in 3 different sizes. The 10 foot spool that comes in your kits if you buy a kit, and then this is a 30 foot, so this is the next size up, and they actually have, I think it's 100-foot spool, but that one's pretty expensive, like $100 or something like that. But if I can, I try to get the 30s because they last a lot longer for one thing. But so I'm liking that. I think it's going to be pretty when we put the other side up and just have this pendant here. And if we wanted to, we could actually put another dangle from down here in the V. I probably won't, but you could if you wanted to. Could we work on just making things like this? Oh, sure. This is actually really simple. I hope you caught how I made that. The first thing I do is just decide how long I think it needs to be. And in general, what I do is I compare my piece of wire to the piece I want to enclose. And then find the middle, do your bend with your flat nose pliers. I sometimes use this one with a bigger nose because I think it makes a better bend sometimes. See, now this one side is sort of soft looking compared to the other side here, so I'm going to actually see if I can't. Probably not because I hardened it already, but anyway, so then take your bend, do your bend, and then once you've got it in that V shape, take your wire mandrel, or if you don't have a wire mandrel, anything that's round will work. Like even my tube here that I have my daisy spacers in. I could use this, or a pill bottle, or heck, even one of these little guys if you only need a small size. Bring it up and around there. Then you want to do your loops, and you can see I've bent them in a way so that they sit flat against my my bail piece here. And if they're too long, if you decide it's too long, as I did, you go into your loops after you make them and cut off the same amount on both loop and then re-loop it. So they're really not really hard to do. They're just, well, it's practice mainly, like most things. To practice to get it to go the way you want it to. And I like to flatten it out a little bit. I think and give it a little texture. You notice I didn't do it all the way up, but I have done it all the way up on when I make looped earrings. Sometimes I make double loops. Sometimes I just make single loops for my looped earrings. And they're made exactly the same way, more or less. But yeah, we can do we can do some wire work. In fact, maybe next week we'll just make some earrings with a double loop, like I was saying. But let's go on here. Where are we at? We're right back here at the very beginning. So we want a ball spacer. And after I get this next turn of things in, I'm going to measure it, see where we're at, because we may be done. So, but when I ordered these, it was these daisy spacers. It was weird because they came and I put them in here, and then I realized the first time I used them that there's two different sizes here. See how this one's smaller and this one's a little bigger? But I don't mind. I can tell the difference generally. But Oh, this moonstone almost looks like sunstone. It's got some gold flecks in it. Wonder if they're related. Oops, no more rhodonite. Get some out. Oh, yes, you do that right up there. I like the more pinky in the rhodonite bit. So now we'll put another bead stopper on and see how long we are right now. I don't think we're as long as I want, but well, we're 9 inches, so we could call it 18 inches, but I think I probably want it a little longer than that. Maybe 20, 21, 22, somewhere in there. When you order the okay. If you're, are you talking about the making the wire focal stuff? If so, I did speak about that some. I described how I made this one again. And I said next live next week we can make some earrings or something, and we'll use the style I used to make the earrings with a double wire loop. And if we wanted to, we could actually make our double loop a point like this, or we can just do round ones. But we can make that decision as we go along. Not sure how short I want this. I don't think I want it just 18. We could stop right here if I just wanted 18, but I think I want a little longer than that. You know, when I first started making necklaces, 18 inches is this isn't goldstone, it's moonstone, sunstone and moonstone. But maybe I said that goldstone, but I meant moonstone, because this last one I put in here of the moonstone, don't know if you can see it, it has gold flecks in it. And sunstone has gold flecks in it. So I thought, that looks sort of like sunstone rather than moonstone. This one does anyway. But it's very, very pretty. I love sunstone. But weirdly enough, sunstone is sort of hard to find. Anyway, I found that to be the case. Even though I live in Montana and I know they get sunstone, a lot of it from Oregon. I even know where some of the mines are at. But sort of hard to find it, especially if you want a round bead or a faceted bead, because a lot of times when you get sunstone it's chips or nuggets rather than the regular bead styles. I know that moonstone is a feldspar, but I do not know if sunstone is. So guess that's one of those, as Randy from Thunder Horse Descendant says, one of those research things. So Oh, I need some more of the white ones out. Well, they're not really white. They're sort of creamy colored. Must be the end. Come here, you. It is. This one's stuck. We'll just get a couple more. And I think I'm going to do one more of these turns because they're the smaller and they'll go down around the back better. And then we'll see how long it is and see if I end up having to take something off because I think it's too long. Wouldn't be the first time. I'm liking it. So now we're at the, come here, you. Okay, I think we're going to be done with this side. In fact, I may have too much because it's pretty long here. Okay, that's going to be 24. I'm not sure I want it to be 24. Okay, I'm going to pull my hair sort of out of the way because I don't have it up in a barrette today. Naughty me. It's better if it's in a barrette because then it doesn't get in my way. Let's see if I have a... I've been designing in my bedroom lately, and it looks like all of my barrette blanks are in my bedroom because I was just going to stuff my hair up quickly, but it's not going to work. So let's see how, I'm going to see where this is going to hang about at. See if it's going to be way longer than I want it to be. No ruler, stay. Oh no, it's going to be pretty good actually. I like it. So now we can figure out the length of wire we need for the other side and we can start beading up the other side. So let's get the same length of wire out for this side. Come here, baby. Need more. Now I got a ton of wire here on this side, so I could make this a little shorter as far as my wire is concerned. when I cut this, but I'm not going to cut it that much shorter. I like plenty when I'm making my turns. I have this real strong aversion to having to use my pliers to get my beads or my beading threads, beading wire into into my crimp tubes. So up you go. Oop. I hate it when it falls off the desk like that. I had that happen a lot when I was working on the lariat because it was so long that it would keep falling off the desk and be on the ground, which was really frustrating. But okay, large, small, crystal, oh, that one's really discolored. It needs to have sunshine cloth take it to it. When I'm doing my second side, I tend to stop once in a while and compare to the sides to make sure I'm not messing something up. Even so, I tend to mess them up every once in a while because I've got one up here hanging above me that I've never put up for sale because it's got one bead out of place. And I keep telling myself, are you going to fix that or just leave it that way? But it'll probably have to be fixed because, well, as Janice sort of pointed out last week when we were making the earrings, I get a little picky sometimes about things that match and so on and so forth. But, so we're right here. We could just finish the last of our first section. So looking good. So now we want the small, the large. Oops, large fell off. And the moonstone. I'm going to have to get some more of these out because I only have this one left over there. Rope spacer. This guy. Rope spacer. How are we doing for time? Oh, we're over our hour. I don't know if you guys want me to keep going or if you want me to just finish this off camera and put pictures up on my Facebook page. You can let me know. In the meantime, I'll just get me some more moonstone out and keep going. Where is your end? Because it's fine by me whether we keep it doing this on camera or not. I don't mind. So you let me know whether you guys need to leave or you want me to keep going here. Okay, we'll keep going. So got a few things out we needed. And back to it. Oh, that moonstone had a little bit of a nice flash. Can you see it? Right there? It's pretty cool. Oop. Lost it. There it is. Okay, I think we're to right here where we're going to start the, okay, everything's still looking good. Now we go to the big moonstone. Oh, we have to put in our spacers though. Thought I felt a flat spot on that, but now I don't. Ah, well, no biggie. Oops. Getting butterfingers here, dropping things. My daisy spacers appear to be all the smaller size now, so I need to get some more out so we can find some bigger sized ones. There's a whole bunch of bigger sized ones. Nope, smaller. Here's the bigger. And we need some more beads out. Yeah, that might be enough. We'll see. That one's got some interesting coloration to it. So just, so we got this one. This is our next to the last set of these. So we're just about going to come around here. So this section will be the last bit of these, and then one more section of these, and then we have to put our hardware on. So it's ball spacer, small, large, moonstone, rope spacer. This last, this is going to be the last one of these going on. Rope spacer and moonstone. This should be the last one of these. So since we're right here, then we have to do that little section there, and we're done. It looks like I need to roll my wire around a little bit. There we go. So large one, small one, ball spacer, rhodonite, ball spacer, and our moonstone. Right there. Now we have the large and then the small and crystal. Looks like I need one more crystal out. Small one. Small one. And I need one crystal. Okay, crystals, where did I bury you at? Oh, they're over here. I just need one. Here. Nope, crystal. Oh, large moonstone, ball spacer, and rhodonite. Now we'll put our bead stopper back on, compare side to side, make sure everything's kosher. Okay. And we're good. So now we can put all these things away and work on putting our findings on. Now, if I wanted, it's not that heavy. You could double crimp this. I'm not going to. I don't think it's that heavy, so I'm not going to worry about it. But I'm going to now get out some crimp tubes and a lobster claw and get our hardware on our necklace, and it'll be done. But yeah, next week we'll work on, I have to make myself a note, make some earrings with the making our little frames like this. And we'll maybe make it a double one because those are really fun. I think they are anyway. So crimp tubes, I need gold crimp tubes. Come here, baby. A couple of lobster claw, and a couple of jump rings. And we're done. Like I said, if you wanted to, you could add more things to this wire. You could wire wrap some other beads around the outside. You could put a dangle in your corner of your V. I don't want to detract from my moonstone, so I probably will not even consider doing anything like that, but you could if you wanted. So get this in here. Now this should go through the rhodonite a second time, I would think, but let's find out. Yeah, it does. No problem. So I'm going to just bring this up to where I think I'd like it. Get my magical crimpers out. Have a divot in the middle. You put your crimp tube in the divot and squish. And then turn and squish again. And you do that a number of times until it doesn't want to squish anymore. And it should have formed a little ball at that time. So it's good and tight. This will go through the ball spacer as well, but I don't know about our moonstone. So I'm just going to get my flush cutters out, and I'm going to cut this second wire up, not all the way to the rhodochrosite, but close, so that the ball spacer can go over it too. There we go. Now we're going to roll everything down to this side. And we'll crimp this side. Now this side I have to go in right now, and I have to pull it up to where I'm going to cut it, because of course we can't slide this side. It's already been slid to this side. So just a teeny bit more. Get our crimpers in. Let's compare. I think this one's a little bit bigger. That's all right, because I don't have this all the way in place here yet. Squish, turn, and squish, and squish. Now I gave that more space than I really wanted to, but we'll see how loose that is when we bring it down. So, not really very. No, there's a little bit there, but just bring it around here. Oh, now you brought it over there too much. Now, if you don't like that extra space you've got there, you can always put a crimp cover in there. I don't think mine's all that far off, so I'm not going to worry about it. So now what we need to do is get our hardware out. So all we need is a couple of jump rings. I use a medium one. I believe these are 6s to hold my lobster claw. And then a big one, and I think these are 8s if I remember right, to hook into. Oh, where are you, lobster claws? You should be right here. Yeah, that's a silver one. I don't want a silver one. extra ones. Let's see if this one's working all right. Yep, it works great. I always test my lobster claws. You never can tell when one of them's not working right. Open up our jump ring, grab one side, go through our loop, and then our lobster claw. Close it up. And if you wanted to make this longer, of course, you could put some extended chain in. And if you wanted it shorter, just use less beads, and then you could put an extender chain in for any extra length. But there we go. She's all finished. Okay, that's technically the back, because my there's where my loops come around there on that side. So there's the front. So there we go. She's all done. Hey, Gina. Okay, so I'm going to flip this up, and I'll probably put it on so you can see what the length is. So I'll be flipping here. There we go. Let's see what I missed when I was finishing up. So do I, Gloria. I love metal spacers. I think they really add something to the necklace, especially when I made this metal cage around our little focal bead down here. I think it adds quite a bit to it. No such thing as a bad penny. Sure enough, gotta save all those pennies. Oh, hi Lois, when did you pop in? So anyway, I'm going to put it on, and then I'll back up so you can see what it looks like. Make sure I have it on the right way. Not that it really makes a big difference. Unless you study it, you can't really see the loops because I've got them close on. Okay. So that's how long I made it. Like I said, if you don't want it that long, you can always make it shorter and then put an extender chain in to add the extra length if you want it. So there we go. There's our necklace. Hope you enjoyed making it with me. Actually, the extra little bit of line I ended up leaving was a good thing, because I noticed when I put it on that if I hadn't, it would have pinched too close to the pendant here and wouldn't have let it move at all. So we want a little movement, don't we? All right, no pulling up like that. So there we go. And like I said, I will make a note. So next week we'll make a pair of earrings with the double loop. And so you can see how to make a double loop pair of earrings. So oops, there we go. So there we go, all finished. and we're a half hour, not quite, but real close to a half hour over our time. So I hope you enjoyed making that with me. I enjoyed making it, and it turned out just the way I wanted it to, actually. So that's great. And like I said, since Beth requested we do some more wire work, next week we will make some earrings with a wire, with the wire frame. I think we'll make a double strand one, so that it has two loops, and we can bead one or just one, or not, or bead them both. I have done them both ways, and they're very pretty either way. So we will do that. So I will. Oh, that's right, Brandy's ducky races tonight. So yes, we will see each other tonight, won't we? So anyway, we'll see you all later, and I hope you had a good time with me. This has been Rose from In Rose's Garden, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.